Hey everybody, it's Shelly. Just going to talk a little bit about wholesaling clothes for the most part. So I started this back in, I think, mid-June. I started going to the Goodwill outlet and specifically shopping for other resellers. And by, I want to say like probably the middle of July, end of July, I had 3 resellers that I was buying for and selling to weekly. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about my process. I have started a Facebook group. I'm going to put the link in the description. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that after I get done with this video. And you can go join that. We're looking for more wholesalers. There are tons of resellers, as you well know, if you've come to this channel with all the keywords that I put into the description or the title. And what I do is I go to that Goodwill outlet, I pay by the pound, and then I bring that stuff home and I do video calls, like I said, to 3 sellers. I have 3 online sellers and I do video calls. One of them is here in the Northwest. I'm close to Portland, Oregon. And then one is in Ohio and one is in Florida. So it's kind of an interesting thing to be shipping this stuff all over the place. But I know what my people are looking for, and that's what I go thrift at the bins or the outlet. And then I do a video call with each of them every week. We have different times that we do the video calls, but it's pretty set schedule. And then I ship those things to them. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the transition because a lot of people are like, it just sounds so hard. And why would you sell something for $5 that you could get $20 or $30 for? And this is the reason why. Because when I buy things for $1.59 a pound at my Goodwill outlet. The average cost of one of my items, I figure it out like, I've got 40 items at, and this is how much I paid for them, is around $1.20 to $1.50 per item. And obviously some of those things weigh 2 pounds, some of them weigh 3 ounces. So just the average, when I average it out, however many items I have, and I divide that into the amount that I paid that day, it's usually between $1.20 and $1.50 per item. So when I turn around and sell that item for $3 to $10 to my buyers, which are resellers who go on to eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, any of the platforms that you can resell clothes on, they buy it for $3 to $10, and $5 is my price. Like most of I always joke that I just need like a button that I push when I'm on these calls going $5, $5, $5. A few things, like if something has a little rip in it or is missing a sash, like a robe without a sash or a dress without a belt, or if it's a smaller item or something that that I know isn't going to sell for as much, I'll offer it to them for $3. I'm still doubling my money on that. And then if it's something like a Johnny Was shirt or a vintage item that I know they're going to get $100 for or something, I'll ask $10 or $15. I don't think I've ever asked $15, but I have asked $10 and I usually get it. So the reason that I do that and why I made that transition, which was hard, is because it's immediate. I bring that stuff home. I do a video call. They buy probably 75 to 100% of the things that I get. And I don't have to photograph it. I don't have to list it. I don't have to ship it individually. I just throw it all in a big poly mailer. It's called Cubic Ground Advantage, I believe. And I use Pirate Ship to ship it. And I get paid through PayPal because that's what is convenient for me and my buyers. You need to do whatever works for you. People are always asking me, what brands do you get? What are people going to buy from you? I buy the brands that my buyers want. That's what I do. So if you have, like, For instance, like I have one buyer, and I've talked about this in my other video. One of my buyers is really into Taylor Swift. She belongs to some Taylor Swift groups on Facebook. She goes to a lot of the concerts. She's really into Taylor Swift. So I know when I find like a total Western lacy or Western country, dress shirt or what, like I know what she's looking for. So I know I can buy that item, even if it's off brand, if it's not like a great brand. I've bought stuff that's homemade and give it and sold it to her because I know she'll buy it, because I know she has that market. She can go on and sell it really well to her client base. One of my clients only wants really good sell-through rate, and they'll take anything pretty much with a good sell-through rate, from like body shapers to, heavy coats and boots. Like if it's got a good sell-through rate, they'll take it because that's their business model. And the other one, I know a few things that she'll take that the other ones probably wouldn't touch. So what to buy to resell to your buyers depends on them. They'll let you know what they want. I also sell to a local vintage shop. Right now I have 3+ IKEA bags I'm taking to her today. I'll probably make I'm guessing probably around $200 today on the stuff that she'll buy from me. And I know she'll pay better than my buyers will for vintage stuff. So I throw most of my vintage stuff her way just because of that. Because she's selling it in her store and she knows what she can get for it. So she pays up for quite a bit of stuff from me. So that's another avenue. It doesn't have to just be buyers that are resellers online. You can go in and find consignment shops. I like her because she buys outright from me. So she immediately writes me a check, and by that afternoon, it's in my account. And because I have the phone app or whatever that you can deposit checks. Anyways, that's how I do it. So the transition is a bit rough because you're looking at a Johnny Was shirt that you could get $75 to $100 for, and you're selling it for $10 to your buyer. You don't have to. I definitely hold stuff back and I still resell myself. But so like a day in the life, I'm just going to put that out there. A day in the life, like today, is going to be a busy day. So Tuesdays and Fridays are my main reselling days. So today is Tuesday, the 17th of October, 2023. I just got ready. I have one item of my regular reselling that I'm going to ship. I'm going to head to I'll probably go to the post office first, drop that off. Then I'll head to the bins, which is probably like a 10-minute drive from me, which is great. That's one thing that you need. You need to have a place you can go and buy stuff cheap. So I'll drop that off at their post office. I'll go to the bins. I'll probably spend at least 3 hours at the bins today, which is pretty much 5 to 6 days a week for me. I'll spend 3 or 4 hours at the bins. I haven't even seen if I have anybody in here. I don't. I'm not making this live video for live content. I'm making it so I can send people to it. Anyways, I get sidetracked so easy. Going to the bins for 3 or 4 hours. I will be finding stuff that I know that the people that I sell to will buy. And I might pick up a few things for myself. Yesterday, I went to the bins and I picked up a tax auditor's case that I think I can get about $100 to $200 for. So when I find stuff like that, I'm going to grab it. I'm not going to send that to my resellers because it's way too big. It's like a suitcase size. It's big. It's going to be a pain in the butt to ship, but I'll do it because I know I can make such good money on it. It weighs like 3 or 4 pounds, so it costs me like maybe $6 or $7. So turning that into $100 or $200 is worth it for me. Anyways, I will buy all the stuff. I have to get at least 25 pounds at my bins to get the lower rate, which is $1.59 a pound. Otherwise, I think it's $2.29 a pound, which really makes a big difference. You don't think it would, but it makes a huge difference in how much you pay. So I get my 25 pounds and then I come home and I watch. I'm a reality TV person. That's my 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, The Real Housewives of blah, blah, blah. I love all that stuff. So I will come home. I'll eat some lunch today. I will probably not sort my items at that point, but a lot of times I sort my items after I eat. So I will just watch TV. I'll turn on the light, the big light in my family room. I'll open my blinds so I have a lot of light so I can see flaws and stains that I missed or pilling. Like I just got a pair of pants that looked great at the bins, and then when I got home, I'm like, holy crap, the whole back end of these pants is pilled. So that's another thing that you have to look out for is flaws, because I take a lot of stuff, not a lot, probably about 3 to 5% of my stuff just goes right back to the bins because it's got flaws that I didn't see, a rip or a stain or pilling or a button missing that I missed when I was at the bins. Anyways, I go through that. I put everything in different piles for the different people that I'm going to sell it to. And then I put those away. Like right now, I'm looking at 2 of my sellers' stuff is over here. 1 of my sellers' stuff is behind me, my reseller stuff that I'm going to sell to. And then, like tonight, after, okay, so slow down. So I'm going to do all that. Probably going to go through my stuff. If I don't do that right then, I'll do it later. And then I go to my local lady today. I'm going to bring her all the stuff. So while she's going through it, I'll be going through her racks. I bought a Johnny Was shirt for $20 from her, which actually isn't $20 because I just have her take it off of what she owes me. And I spent, like I said, $1.50 an item on those things. So if she gave me $20 for 3 things, I just spent like $4.50, $5 on a Johnny Was shirt that I'm going to turn around and sell for, I think I sold that one for $65 on Poshmark. So yeah, so I'll go through her racks while we chit chat if she doesn't have any customers that she's dealing with. And she'll take about an hour or so to go through all my stuff. And then she'll let me know, is, $200 good? I'll be like, that's great. And then she gives me back what I didn't sell, and I take it back and I decide if I'm going to list it, take it back to the bins, or some of the stuff I take to a consignment shop, which is a whole nother thing. I have stopped selling to Plato's Closet. They are ridiculous. They take very little of my stuff. Right when I feel like I've got their aesthetic figured out, I go and they'll like be, I went last time and I took an IKEA bag that probably weighed about 30 or 40 pounds. They took 2 items and gave me $13. I was just like, I got to stop doing this. It's a waste of my time and energy to even park my car in that parking lot. So I'm not going to do Plato's Closet anymore. Anyways, so today that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take stuff to her, and then I'm going to come home, and that's probably when I'll sort through my stuff. And then at 5 o'clock today, I have a call with my Pacific Northwest lady up in Seattle, and she'll buy a bunch of stuff from me. And then so how I do it, I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown of how I do this. So this is my chair, my IKEA chair. I just love it. So I have these 24 by 19 poly mailers. So I just put it on my chair like this. I just kind of wrap it around the back of the chair. And then I'll just this is something that I just listed, but I'll just say, okay, I've got this young blood, shirt, blah, 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 blah. And she'll say, okay, I'll take it. And I'll go, okay, I'll do $5 on that. And she'll be like, great. So I just stuff it in the bag. I roll it up, stuff it in the bag, go on to the next thing. Okay, I have this Sublime shirt. Would you like that? Yeah, I love that. What size is it? Blah, blah, blah. Then I roll it up, put it in the bag. So I just do that until this bag is full, and then I don't close it. I set it aside. This is a little trick that I learned. I set it aside because sometimes at the very end of the haul, there's only like 4 or 5 items. And instead of closing all these bags, get back in the frame here so I'm not talking to my body. So instead of closing all those bags, I just leave them open, and that way if there's only a few items at the end, I can stuff them in those bags and I don't have to start a new bag, because in the beginning I was doing that. I was closing the bag and then I was like, man, I could have put these in there, and it would waste a bag if you. So then I double up the bag. I take another bag and shove it over the top of it, pop it up upside down, close that bag, and then I tape them all up so they're like a cube. I tape all the corners down. I should really do just a shipping video, but I tape all the corners down, and then I go on to Pirate Ship. I can usually get between 15 and 20 items in a bag, depending on the size. Of course, if there's like a big winter coat, there's going to be less. But then I go on to Pirate Ship and I do the cubic ground advantage, I believe is what it's called. And then I add up all the shipping, and they usually keep track of how many items and what they were costing, because they're putting it into a spreadsheet for themselves. So when they get it, they know what they're getting and they have an easier time listing it. All three of my people have that under control. So I don't have to worry about it. I don't write anything down. I don't keep track. They keep track of it. I trust them. You have to build trust with the people that you sell with. You know, if you get somebody and you feel like they're starting to like not tell you like that they bought 3 things and you're like, wait a minute, like that's a red flag. But the people that I work with, I totally trust. And then I send them the total. Like if they say, okay, I bought $250 from you, and then I figure out the shipping and say it's $42, and then I tell them, okay, well, you owe me, $292. And then they go, okay, and I invoice them through PayPal and they pay me. And I've gotten to know these people so good that even if they haven't paid me yet, if I'm going directly to the post office afterwards, I will just do it. I know they'll pay me. But in the beginning, I would not ship things until you get paid. That is just a really important thing. Don't ship until you get paid. In the beginning, once you get to know these people. And that's another thing that we have, is just kind of like this really good relationship, where if they get something and I didn't see a stain or a missing button or a rip or something, they'll let me know, hey, we had to throw this in the wash because you missed, like, there was some armpit stains that you missed. And I'm just like, sometimes they send me pictures, but for the most part, I'm just like, okay. And they're like, well, we got them out. So because we had to take the time to wash them, we're going to take half off of that. I'm totally fine with all of that. I'm just in a really good place with the people that I sell to. So like, say it was $292 that they owe me, but like several things they either couldn't sell or they had to wash, and they're like, well, we have like $13.50 in credit, and then I'll just take that off of it. And that's how we handle that. Every time I talk to them, I'm like, hey, was everything okay with the last haul? And they'll let me know. Oh, there were a couple of things that I had to throw out because they were ripped and you missed it or whatever. And so you just get really good at like finding those things, so you don't have to deal with that as much. But it happens, and I really had to step back away from taking it personal and just go, you know what, it just happens. It happens. So especially shopping at the bins, there's some crazy stuff there and you miss stuff. I look at it at the bins. Sometimes I look at it again at the bins if I'm going through and comping it at the bins. And then I bring it home, go through it. I look at it again when I'm going through it to put it in everybody's different piles. And then I look at it again when I'm showing it to them. And still I can send it to them and they'll be like, there was a missing button, or the cuff was filthy on that, or the crotch was ripped. I had a couple, like, I really check pants now because I had a couple pairs of pants where the crotch was totally ripped out. I didn't even see it because I was just holding them up and turning them around. Yep, looks good. Now I like spread them apart and make sure. So you get really good at finding those things too. So I hope that this helped. I was just going to throw out some brands, and these are just from a recent Kaylee Elaine video. And these are some brands to look for. Jill Sander, Mossy Oak, that are like extra large with unique prints. Zach and Rachel plus size with fun prints. the territory ahead, and that you do factor stacking. If you don't know what factor stacking is, if you go to Kaylee Elaine's YouTube channel, she talks about factor stacking. So what factor stacking is when there's more than one thing about, like, you could get an off brand. I mean, you can even get like Old Navy, but if it's like, 3X and cheetah print, it's probably going to sell a lot faster than an Old Navy t-shirt that's red, that's small. So that's factor stacking, is putting all these factors on an item and going, wow, that'll sell fast, even though it's just an Old Navy or just a Zach and Rachel. Like, I find Zach and Rachel all the time and I just pass it by. I don't even look for factor stacking, which I probably should a little bit more because I could sell more, but I'm looking for the better stuff. Tahari with the factor stack. Banana Republic neon sweater. That was just something that she had. J. Crew blazers are big right now, like pretty much in all sizes, but of course plus sizes are always better. Forever That Girl by Anthropology, Walford base layers, Desert Dunes, Calvin Klein puffer plus sizes, Theory men's factor stack, Vince factor stack. So these are just like things that I just copied down from one video of hers. If you want to go see what are really good sellers, go watch a couple of Kaylee Lane's What Sold videos, because she's got some really good stuff on there, and she explains why she ended up buying that to resell, because she does everything with sell-through rate. And there's some really like not so great brands that have great sell-through rates because of that factor stacking. So the plus size, like Knox Rose, anything plus size with lots of, embroidery and prints and fun stuff in Knox Rose, which I believe is a Target brand, sells really well. And you wouldn't think it because it's a Target brand, but some of these little, not so great stores get a little following with certain brands. So you just got to watch out for that and learn how to do sell-through rate. And again, Kaylee Elaine has a really good video on that. I'm not going to get into it because I just send everybody to her video. So I hope that helps. Making the transition from being a regular reseller on these different platforms to being a wholesaler is a little daunting, but I know for me, doing the regular reselling on a pretty part-time basis, where I was probably listing like 5 or 10 things a day, if that, and selling a couple things a day. A normal Poshmark week for me, my deposit would be like $150 to like $300. Well, like today during my call with my buyer this evening and going to the vintage thrift or the vintage store that I resell to, I'll probably make like $400 today, just in one day. And then on Friday, I have 2 more buy calls. On Thursday, I have a buy call that I'm doing some inventory clear out that a lady's going to buy from me. Between today, Thursday and Friday of reselling with this wholesale system that I'm doing, I'll probably make about $1,000 this week. So that's the difference for me, is I don't have to list, I don't have to photograph, I don't have to ship individually. I will be taking lots of big packages to the post office, but it'll be done. I don't have to, I'll probably sell like 150 to 200 items this week, and I will not have to ship them individually. I will not have to list them individually. I will do buy calls, just like I showed you, where I just hold something up. This is what I got. And they say yay or nay. So there we go. I'm going to go. It's been almost 25 minutes. I need to get my day started because I do have a busy day. So I hope this has helped. I hope that you consider wholesaling, because there is a huge market for it. There are tons of resellers looking for people to thrift for them, and you can make really good money. Like I said, I'm probably going to do about $1,000 this week on my own, which is awesome. Like that would take me so much time and effort if I was doing regular reselling. So there you go. Have a great day. Bye.